everybody, this is Norm from the Board Game Museum. Welcome, and today I'm going to be reviewing a card game called Gap. Now in Gap, you're going to be taking cards from the middle of the table and you're going to be attempting to try to collect sets of colors. And the score is going to be based on how many cards you have the most of and the amount of cards that you have the least of. However, you will have an opportunity to double your score, but it does come with a risk. So let's check it out. So in this game, you're going to go ahead and lay out 4 cards here in the middle, and you've got several different colors and suits of cards here. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to be trying to collect cards here from the middle and trying to collect sets of colors to score with later. Now in the beginning, you're going to get a certain set of cards. Now in the beginning, you're going to be dealt a certain number of cards depending on how many players there are. You're not going to draw back up. You're going to play out all of these cards until the round ends. So in the beginning, you're going to lay out 4 of these cards here in the middle of the table, and there's several different cards with several different suits and numbers. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to be trying to collect sets of colors and then scoring with them with a particular formula. Anyway, there's a couple of things that you can do in order to get these cards. The first thing you can do is you can go ahead and play a card that matches another number in the middle. So for example, let's say I played this 0 over here. I put it in front of me. Any zeros that are here, I would go ahead and take. So I could go ahead and take this 0 and then I would put it to the side, and then I would go ahead and replace the card. Another thing that I can do is I can go ahead and play a card that has an adjacent number on there. So for example, if I played this 2, you'll see that there's a 1 here and a 3 here. Those are adjacent numbers. So since this is the 3, I can go ahead and take the 3 along with this 2 like so. Another thing I can do is I can play a card over here if I have no other cards that I can play that can pick up anything. So for example, let's say I played this 6. I can get a 5 or a 7, but there is no 5 and 7. So I'm going to go ahead and place the 6 over here like so. So as you're collecting your different colored cards, you're going to go ahead and just put them in columns of the color. So I could put a blue here. If I had a purple, I'd get that there. Another purple would go here, etc. And you're going to do that till the end of the round. So the way it works is you're going to count the number of colors that you have the most of, and then you're also going to count the colors that you have the least of. So right here I have 3, and this is for the most, and I have 1 for the least. So you're going to go ahead and subtract these 2. I will have 2 points. Now if I get to a place where I have the most or the least of something in more than one pile, for example, I have 3 blues and 3 purples, I'm going to go ahead and add all of those together. So this is 3, this is 3, that would make 6. This would be 2, so that would be 4. Conversely, if I have 2 of the least that match, for example, I have 2 of these and 2 of these, I'm also going to combine these as a negative. So this would be -4, this would be 3, so my score would be -1. So scoring works like this. You can play a short game for 15 points, a medium game for 30 points, a long game for 70 points, and you'll just do multiple rounds until somebody reaches that number. And the player that reaches that number first will win the game. So Gap is a game that is based off of traditional games like Scopa, where you have cards in the middle of the table and you're just trying to get those cards out, and you're trying to build things like sets or collections of some kind. So this is kind of what the game is based off of. Very simple game to learn. It takes probably maybe 5 minutes, and it's got a pretty unique mechanic with the cards that allow you to take cards that are adjacent to the number, and you'll be taking one of them. Now you'll also have to take all the cards if you have an exact number of it, and ultimately what you're trying to do is you're just trying to get these different sets of cards, and you're trying to make it to where you're going to get the best score by having the most amount of a card or least amount of a card. Now when it gets really interesting is when you are trying to double up on your score, because if you have the most amount of 2 different sets and they're tied, you're going to be able to double your score, maybe even triple your score. However, on the flip side, if you are not careful, you could end up getting the tying for the least amount, and that's going to negatively affect your score. The game does start to get interesting once it starts to get near the end, because you're looking at your cards and you really have to kind of be careful, because you might end up having to grab cards that you don't want that could impact your score. So it's a very simple premise. It's enjoyable. I could definitely see this game being used as a filler for sure, but this game got a pretty cool mechanic, being able to grab cards that are adjacent to you and then trying to stack those colors up so you can get the best score. I like it. Alright guys, that's my review of Gap. We'll see you. Keep on gaming. Thanks for watching everybody. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be aware of more videos that we've got coming out. Talk to y'all later. Take care.